Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another monthly iSolved training with HireLevel. I'm your host, Carrie Smith, the HCM Implementation Manager here at HireLevel, and I'm going to be walking you through iSolved Scheduler today and how it's going to help save your life. To make sure that you're even more familiar with HireLevel HCM and our incredible capabilities. As always, we'd love to hear from you. Whether you have questions, comments, or concerns of any kind, please feel free to send us a chat or touch base after the training. Again, my name is Carrie Smith, and you can reach me at csmith@hirelevel.com. That is csmith@hirelevel.com. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started for today. We are going to be talking about iSolved Scheduler and some of the capabilities that it can do for you to make your life easier. So I'm going to share my screen. And with that, I'm going to show my PowerPoint here that I put together. I can send this out later when I get it finalized. So the first thing is that iSolved Scheduler is a robust software module. It allows employers to handle schedules with ease, changing, moving, and scheduling employee shifts. We know that many different kinds of operations, scheduling is an issue. So one of the things that iSolved can do that a lot of people are not aware of is help with the scheduling component. It helps you stay compliant with legal scheduling regulations, such as predictive scheduling that's in effect in cities and states across the nation. It allows you to send instant notifications to employees when their schedules are posted, rather than communicating with all staff members via email or just posting this to a schedule in the back room or some other area at your location. So some of the high target industries that scheduling is able to help is when you're in the retail industry, hospitality, healthcare. All these areas, we know that schedules are important, and when someone's not able to make their shift, that affects a lot of people, as well as your customers. So some of the features that are included with scheduling, there is a basic scheduler, and then there's also an advanced scheduler. So some of the basic features is schedule permission rules. It kind of allows you, it sets up the rules for who's able to be assigned to what particular shifts. Maybe someone only wants to work day shift, or maybe someone only wants to work second shift, or they're just available for midnights. It allows you to pick that. And then determine shift eligibility. It outlines who's eligible to work that particular shift. Employee unavailability. So at a glance, you can quickly look and see what employees are already scheduled for other shifts or the ones that are not available to work that particular shift. There's a scheduler alert view. This instant alerts that are generated, and they're visible when the schedules are created and they're pushed out live. It lets the employees know that. Employee shift request allows the employees to request which shifts they want to work. So if they want to pick up an extra shift, it allows them to do that. Also, it allows for the draft. You can create a draft status of the added or edited shifts. So that way you can quickly see which ones need to be filled or which ones haven't been confirmed by your employees. It keeps the shifts in draft form as the managers and supervisors are able to edit those. And then once they edit those, you can put them in live status. Also, coverage requests. It allows employees to request coverage for a shift within a pool of employees. So, for example, one of them is if you have a restaurant and you've got front of the house and back of the house employees, or if you've got a hostess pool and one of the hostesses are not able to make their shift, they can release that shift, put it out there, and then someone else from that pool can then go in and pick up that shift after they receive that alert. And then with the advanced scheduling, some of the benefits of this include improved employee accountability. It gives them a little bit more control over their schedule to pick up a shift or release a shift as needed. And so they are a little bit more accountable and feel a bit more responsibility in their schedules. Flexible setup for shifts and schedule parameters. So you're you set the guidelines, but then they're able to switch shifts or pick up extra shifts within those guidelines. Access to shift templates for reoccurring schedules. For employees that have the same schedule week after week, you can just copy this and paste it onto the next week. And then fast, easy approval process for shift swapping. So if someone's released a shift, you can set it where the manager has to then acknowledge that and approve it. And then someone else picks up the shift, and again, it goes back to the supervisor or manager to approve that. And keeping employees informed when their schedules do go live. So some of them, if they might have difficulty getting back into the office or the location to get a copy of their schedule, they may have to write it down. And this allows them to get that quick access and keep it on their phone or their mobile device. Like I mentioned, there is basic scheduler and there's also an advanced scheduler. The advanced scheduler, effective, we all know effective workforce. Effective workforce scheduling is vital to an organization's success, but incorporating a solution that keeps your business running smoothly does not just impact your bottom line, it impacts your people. In this current climate, work climate, we're looking to retain people. We know that's difficult to do. So anything we can do to keep them happier, make them feel more part of the team, make their lives easier, that's what we want to do. And it says make work life easier for your employees. It can pay off across every operational function. So as an enhancement to iSolved scheduling, which is iSolved workforce scheduling, allows you to quickly schedule employees as large groups or as an entire organization. Quickly categorize employees, set their schedules, communicate the shift shortages and requirements. So if you're short on one shift, you can post that out quickly and try to get those spots filled. And then predict future workforce needs, all within iSolved People Cloud. The People Cloud is something I do want to touch on. They have kind of renamed that mobile app, and it's called the Adaptive Employee Experience. With that, they have set up, instead of a mobile app that would have to be updated often, they've set it up as a URL that they can push updates to at any time. So you just want to make sure that you are moving over to the Adaptive Employee Experience, and that transition should be relatively smooth to get everybody on board with that. And with the scheduling, it says enable agility, predictability, and real-time communication. We all know how important communication is, communication between all levels of our organization with our employees, and this just allows you to communicate with them in another way. Again, high target industries for the workforce scheduling, again, retail, hospitality, and healthcare. So some of the features of this is let iSolved workforce scheduling software remove any confusion or complexity around staff coverage, and they allow you to focus more on your core business operations. Again, like we just mentioned, increase employee satisfaction and retention, provide an open employee communication platform, maintain compliance with local, state, and federal labor laws. It also helps gain visibility on your staffing challenges and opportunities. Like I said, it shows those gaps in your coverage and where those shifts might need to be filled. It streamlines manual scheduling processes. Again, if it's somebody's schedule that is reoccurring, you just copy it from one week and paste it right to the next week. And then shifts the focus to value-added bonus operations. So you can spend your time on more meaningful things, projects, instead of scheduling. iSolved workforce scheduling, it addresses even more complex requirements. You can set these customizable values for how employees are counted per shift. If you're looking at number of hours worked, if you're looking at an occupancy percentage, or if you're looking at number of beds filled. You're building staffing rules around the employee count types and the number needed per day. You can quickly add employees to shifts from a graphical scheduler view, again, giving you that bird's eye view, that quick visual of what staff you've got on the schedule for the day. You can color code it for different classifications of employees for kind of an even quicker or easier view. Assign employees directly to a shift versus a larger role. You can send notifications to the employees that are eligible if there are open shifts. And you can predict staffing requirements across employee groups and time periods. Again, this helps you manage your staffing needs. So one of the examples that I wanted to look at today, employee management, if you just type schedule in that search menu, you can see it brings up this whole list of options. First, the scheduler would have to be set up on the client side. So that is something that we, as your service bureau, would do for you. We set that up on our side. And then that you could manage that through your employee admin tools, employee administration, and then scheduling on the other side. So you would be able to put those schedules in. You could import them if it's a large group that has the same schedule, or you would do default schedules.
Sorry, I didn't realize that payment was in here.
You could set default schedules. If someone has that same schedule as well, you could just put that in there as their default schedule. And then if you needed to change that, you could always go in and just alter that one day if they're picking up a different day or a different shift. Steps to setting up scheduling. Again, this is kind of where we would do on the back end, but we would need your help to get this set up. So some of the things that we have to look at is, what are your attendance rules? Attendance rules help us identify discrepancies in the schedule hours versus the worked hours. Once these are created, we tie those to shifts. Then we look at, what are your meal and break rules? Does everybody get a 10-minute break at 9 o'clock and another 10-minute break at 2 o'clock? Or is everybody required to take a 30-minute lunch break at a certain time or within a certain window? Those are things that we have to look at. It says these are optional for shifts, but they can be used to override an employee's meal rules assigned within that policy group for a use within a specific shift. And then we have to look at managing the shifts. This section of the program allows the users to create shifts, which can then be assigned to multiple employees through the use of scheduler. Custom alerts, this area is used to configure new alerts in iSolved that are tied directly to an hours allocation rule, alert rule, or the schedule rules. These custom alerts could notify you if there are, if you want everybody that's in early, or if you want everybody that is a no-show for the day. It would allow you to set up those alerts. Or if you want everybody that's in on time, it would allow you to see those. And then schedule rules, the apply alert rule for the attendance alerting, it says can be configured within this. The alert engine, as with the other custom alerts, alerts can be enabled and notifications configured through the alert rules. Like I said, if somebody comes in late, it can let you know that. You can set up an alert for anybody over 5 minutes late. And then schedule permission rules. This is where you define what rights an employee self-service user has on the scheduler page. And then policy groups, the scheduling tab allows the users to attach schedule rules to an eligible employee for that policy group. So it kind of tells them who can have the schedules attached and what their eligibility is for each of those schedules. And then of course you have to set up the calendar rules. So do your shifts start at, do your shifts run 8 to 4, 4 to 12, and 12 midnight to 8 a.m.? Or do they run 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., and then 11 p.m. to 7 a.m.? I mean, we have to know how to set those up for you. Eligibility rules, again, used to create advanced scheduling qualifications for shifts. Like I said, there's the basic scheduler and then the advanced scheduler. So there's just some differences we have to work through between the two types. With attendance rules, do you have hourly employees? There's certain rules that apply for hourly versus salary employees. Adding a new rule, do you want to say it's okay for them to come in an hour and a half, they can clock in an hour and a half early up to 15 minutes after the hour, and it still be counted as your start time? Those are all things that have to be managed. And then talking about managing those shifts, like I said, looking at the visuals, there's a standard format, but then you can also go in and start customizing that. I mentioned before, you can make certain classifications of employees, certain colors on the schedule. You can look at their time cards and quickly see what shifts they worked, what their schedule was, and what they actually worked. Something to keep in mind though, that with scheduler, it does use military time. With the attendance rule, I had mentioned there about the meals and expected, what's expected as far as, are they expected to clock in and out for the meals? Are they expected to just take an automatic, hour lunch or half hour lunch? Default schedules, like I said, you can set them up based on a pattern. You can set them up on a rotation, like if they work through 4 days on and 3 days off, you can set that up. It just depends on, how you're wanting to run that. You can set it up if overtime is based on more than 8 hours a day. You can set it up if overtime is based on more than 40 hours a week, or, within a pay period. We just have to know those parameters that you want us to set that up by. Options, I started to say that it's really, we can customize it to whatever works for your business. We just need to know what's going to work for your business. Do I have any questions at this time? I've kind of piped through a lot of information quickly, but Any questions? Do I have any questions? Would anyone like more information on this webinar? Well, please be sure to get a hold of us if you would like more information or if you're interested in setting up scheduling for your business. That's it for this month's training. I hope these tips were helpful to you, as we will be sending you a recorded version of the webinar that you just attended. So be sure to check your inbox, and don't forget to check out our monthly email newsletters for the official training schedule, as well as our YouTube channel for on-demand recordings. Our next training will cover everything onboarding by Danielle Sloan, and it's set to take place on October the 19th at 10:30. That is Central Standard Time. Check out our latest newsletter or get in touch with your account manager to register for that upcoming webinar. Again, my name is Carrie Smith, and thank you for learning with me today, and we'll see you again next time. If you're interested in the PowerPoint or how we can help you set up your scheduler, there's Zoho templates we can send out, and there's also links to our monthly newsletter that you should have gotten in an email. So please get a hold of us. Again, Carrie Smith, csmith@hirelevel.com. Thank you.